Dearest, beloved divine friends and families in Guyana and around the world, on this, what has become international now, the RK's Guyana Free Media, I'm presenting to you two important readings, and it was not on for a while, and the amount of calls and messages I got, I thought it is necessary for me to keep this thing going, and this is now, I think, part 49. Part 49 of Elections Update, the Guyana Madness. I will start reading a very important letter taken from Stabroek News, 30th May 2020. Patience of the Guyanese wearing thin. GCOM must declare result. RK's Guyana Free Media. Ladies and gentlemen, so just enjoy my introduction, our flag, and our love for Guyana. And after that, my friends and families, we will be doing a very important piece here, which is very sharp. I know a lot of people are upset with me for reading it, and they think that I'm being called politically. But this is so untrue. I'm not being called politically. I'm a free soul. I'm a free agent. I love my country. And so if I speak, certain times the opposition want to kill me. And certain times the APNU, still governing in acting mode, some of them want to kill me. But I want them to know that I just love them all. I just love them all. But as your friend and family, the fact remains that I must speak the truth. I must speak the truth. And for those of you who want to destroy me, sending threats, I care not. I fear no human being, no animal, no ghost, no spirit, no zombie, nothing. And especially those who might be getting up from the grave and they're walking like the night of the living dead, and then they're going, and then they're casting their vote, and then they walk back to the grave. Not afraid of them. Not afraid of those who are threatening me with opportunities, or you're threatening me that with life. I don't care. My God and my universe is my protector, and I will do what is right. Friends and families. This article also, right after that, coalition does not intend to provide actual evidence to support majority of its fraud claims. After it was realized that Mingo's madness will not be happening, and illegal declaration was halted and stopped, and people around the world was realizing what's going on, now they come up with the waking and the rousing of the night of the living dead. I mean, it is almost like tomfoolery and funny, and makes them look so bad. And this young lawyer, whom I respected so much, speaking so much of nonsensicalities and bringing disgrace upon the coalition. How can the president and even those who are sponsoring this guy tolerate him? I thought he would have been a great lawyer. I thought he would have become leader of the opposition. I thought that he would have become a leader of the APNU, or even a leader in the government, if the APNU is in government. So whether they're in opposition or in government, I thought he would have been a great leader. He has destroyed himself. It is a sad thing how people could destroy themselves. Ladies and gentlemen, please don't forget to wear your masks. Please don't forget to sanitize your hands and how to clean it, and don't take chances. Guyanese are very, very careless. Move your rings at least 20 minutes of sanitizing every time it becomes required. I even do up here, whichever part is exposed. Ladies and gentlemen, to the article at hand. The patient of the Guyanese people wearing thin, GCOM must declare result soonest. But before I go to that, a little shame for us that Suriname did it the other day, and in 2 days they declared, even though there are some problems and so on, whatever, but the fact remains, they have declared. In Guyana, 3 months, and we are the international shame brought upon by one political entity, and bringing shame upon, to my opinion, His Excellency the President and his big boys doing what they think they want to do, whenever they want to do, whatever they want to do, and nobody can do them anything. Guyana has reached a terrible state and a terrible stage. It's a very hurtful and a painful thing. The Federation of Independent Trade Unions of Guyana, FITOG, is writing the editor. Recognizing that the initial 25-day deadline is reaching an end, calls on the Guyana Elections Commission to identify the shortest possible extension in which to complete the exercise. Undoubtedly, the patience of the Guyanese people has now worn thin, as it will soon be 3 months since elections were held, but the final declaration still remains outstanding. The Federation has seen calls from some quarters to have what appears to be an inordinate delay in declaring the results. An indeterminable timeline cannot be supported by the FITOG. Certainly, with the results being tabulated regionally, the declaration of the national results therefore should be quick and smooth and without any hitch. This for us seems to be the natural progression of the process. But we have seen attempts to thwart it with the invocation of concerns cited in the observation reports. On this score, it has been drawn to our attention the consideration of the so far unsubstantiated and hearsay objections cannot be properly considered by the Elections Commission. Indeed, it seems rational, as GCOM cannot judge its own actions. Such judgments ought to be left to the judiciary, which is an impartial party. For GCOM to be its own judge would be a glaring conflict of interest, and if I may add my commentary, a total shame again for Guyana and GCOM internationally. My divine friends and family, brothers and sisters, a total disgrace and total shame in the nation, Guyana, and around the world, that GCOM wants to make itself a court of law, and wasting the people's time and causing the pressure in the pressure cooker to probably reach explosion point. Oh God, I pray not. The hastening and completion of the process in the shortest possible time is most important at this time. With the public health, economic and social crises that face the nation presently, the installation of a legitimate government cannot be subjected to any further procrastination, but a matter that is of national importance and must be addressed speedily. We look at this time to GCOM and its commissioners and chairperson to advise the nation of an end to the seeming never-ending electoral process. We reiterate that we have a nation to consolidate and a people to protect, and in this process a legitimate government put into office on credible and transparent elections results is critical. End of letter. Ladies and gentlemen, I wonder that some people like to be disgraced. We came out of that hurdle from the Ashman's building at Recount. Some respectability through the court was returned to Guyana. And now, GCOM wants to play judge and jury and wants to play God. Yes, they want to play God over the nation Guyana. beyond the remit that is given to them by the people of this country. GICAM, don't forget, whatever you do and enjoy, whatever appointment or position you have, whatever finances you get, it is the people's money and the people's power that have given this to you. Don't execute it or use it unwisely. Don't become a disgrace and a degradation to the nation. I've spoken to all of you, from the chairman to the CEO, Mr. Lowenfield, and to many people, how beautiful the recount is going. And I can see their pain when a certain particular party, well, I will call the name APNU, AFC representative, with the shenanigans of trying to awake the dead from the center of the earth and arouse bones to vote. Anyhow, back now to the other article. And now we go to the main article at hand. It's a bit lengthy, but it is very important, ladies and gentlemen. You need to pay attention to this and to share this with your family and friends in Guyana and in the diaspora. Diaspora means those who are lost, those who are out of the country, away from Guyana. And in some cases it refers to lost people, in some cases it refers to people who have migrated. Coalition does not intend to provide actual evidence to support majority of its fraud claims. And they expect GICAM to investigate whether allegations are factual. And this gentleman here is Aubrey Norton. He understands a lot about election rigging and clandestine, deceitful things of elections, obviously. So we go to the article of Culture News, 28 May 2020. And here we go. Coalition does not intend to provide actual evidence to support majority of its fraud claims. The APNU and AFC coalition has no intention of providing a majority of its claims of elections irregularities as it relates to people for which it claims votes were fraudulently cast while they were outside of the jurisdiction on election day. This particular grouping of foreign voters accounts for 1,261 or 65% of the coalition's 1,937 claims of irregularities. PNC or executive. Aubrey Norton indicated that the party expects GICAM to investigate to determine whether the claims are factual. Ladies and gentlemen, friends and families, commentary. GICAM's remit is not to investigate or inquire as a court. As an intelligent guy, a lecturer at the university, I expect him to understand that you cannot give an institution or a person basket to fetch water. This is not their remit. You're going to delay and embarrass. You investigate. You get the police to investigate and take the matter to the court and let the police charge, not GICAM. Finish. End of my commentary. The party had previously said that it would provide evidence, even saying it has already started providing evidence to GICAM. However, when asked yesterday what percentage of the evidence the coalition has presented to GICAM to support any of their many claims of electoral fraud, Norton evaded the question. His response spoke to the presentation of death certificates. Well, to provide the evidence, you would recognize you have to get the death certificates. We have been doing that. The claims of dead voters amount to 40 as of the last table posted by the APNU AFC up to press time. This amounts to about 2% of all the party's claim of irregularities. But on the issue of proving votes were cast for persons who were out of the jurisdiction on election day, Norton said, we are also working on the list of persons who were on election day outside the jurisdiction. I read that again, please, ladies and gentlemen. Norton said, we are also working on the list of persons who were on election day outside the jurisdiction. Working. working. They're making the allegations. My personal observance and my personal commentary, they're making the allegations, they're creating fervor and rebellion and annoyance of people as if their words are the words of God, and we know and they know that they are lying, but they're trying to create confusion and whip up support of their poor supporters. Most of them who are intellectuals know the truth, but the ordinary people who depends upon the word of the party leaders don't know the truth. And this is where the trouble starts, because they're taking the words of the party leaders to be gospel. And sometimes you can't blame the people. Norton was asked what evidence has been presented to prove these specific claims. He responded, "There are cases where our field workers went into the field and got names of people who migrated. As I understand it, we can, once we say these are the factors, we can write the Elections Commission's CEO and ask them to use their authority to access the database to be able to confirm or deny." I must let you know, I was in a situation which I saw so many names called out, and they want to know their ticks. And if they call out 25, 30 or 100 names, you might find 2 that had ticks that voted. And when, well, they, the presiding officer, can't do that. But when they go out to investigate, most of the time the people are alive or they are in the country. This is just putting wool over the eyes and throwing what we call, and we learned it from the British, red herring. At this point, a reporter noted that such a list would not actually be evidence. I like that one. Let me repeat. At this point, a reporter noted that such a list would not actually be evidence, but rather a claim for GCOM to probe. But Norton did not agree. He said, "We are supplying what we call evidence. What they call evidence, a commentary, might not be evidence as per law. Your evidence and my evidence and the evidence for the law are different evidences, ladies and gentlemen." Back to the article. The only person that can say this evidence and not hearsay are those in charge of the immigration database. Asked whether it is the coalition's fieldwork that it considers evidence, he responded, "Evidence is fact." He responded, "Evidence is fact." Yet he continued by saying that when the claims arrive at GCOM, it is for GCOM to do the official thing and confirm or deny what we are saying, commentary. I'm saying go to the police. Let the police investigate and let the police charge. GCOM is not the police force. Back to the article. It has come in standing contrast to the view of GCOM chair, Justice Claudette Asinga retired, that he who asserts must prove. That's a very important concept of law. He who asserts must prove. Pointed to this statement, Norton said, well, we are proving by providing the information. What information? Suspicions he's providing. He's not proving anything, but you got to give the man, he's a politician. And he's a specialist in political science. And they know how to play with the minds of people and how to dance around and joke around. If I go to a court of law and I say you slapped me, and I say to the court that X person slapped me, the court then has to now verify whether that is fact or not. I'm saying it is a similar process. We provide the information, and GCOM is the legally constituted body that can relate to the state agencies and confirm what we are saying is a fact. Norton repeated his view several times during the interview, that GCOM should take the claims being made and investigate on its own. But despite his view that it is for GCOM to probe the claims and find evidence, the coalition has already published its own tabulation of all its unsubstantiated claims, marking them marketing them as clear evidence of electoral fraud and rigging in Norton's own words. And you know, it is a commentary. It is incredible to think that a man like this would expect GCOM to go and investigate when it does not have an investigative arm or a police enforcement arm. And for a man of his ability, it puts in question his ability to become a true political leader or head of state. Pointed to this contradiction, Norton responded, but the party cannot confirm. The party can get the facts presented to GCOM, and GCOM has to approach the appropriate government structure to confirm. So he who asserts must prove is not the case according to Norton. Norton responded, or repeating, that the party cannot conform. So what they're doing is pulling a rabbit out of a hat, making some magical claims, and then they expect GCOM has to approach the appropriate government structure to conform. They should do that. They should call the police. They should call the FBI if they want some help from foreign affairs or from foreign nations. They cannot expect GCOM to do that. Pointed again to the, back to the article, pointed again to the publication of unsubstantiated claims, Norton said, we are publishing the information at our disposal. One reporter said, therefore, that what are being presented are allegations and not facts. Norton responded, that is your opinion. One reporter said, therefore, that what are being presented are allegations and not facts, which I tend to agree as a commentator. I tend to agree. But then Norton said, that is your opinion. You know, I mean, politics really make fools of what is normally brilliant people, sad to say, and despots, and criminals in some cases. Back to the article. Norton then said that when it presents its list in a document as fact, GCOM can now check it and decide if we misinform or we inform correctly. Therefore, my commentary. So if they waste GCOM's valuable time, for which we taxpayers, and I pay real big taxes, more than most people, I want to know if the APNU AFC will repay GCOM or refund us our money. The GCOM has to check if they inform or they didn't inform correctly. Nonsense as far as I'm concerned as a commentator. He is confident that GCOM will determine the latter. Ladies and gentlemen, you know, commentary, why they're saying this is because they know they have their hands and their throats. Their hands and their teeth and the throats of GCOM. They're controlling major elements in GCOM. And some of them in GCOM have proven already at the Ashman's building that they were their stooges and they were their bosses, and therefore the stooges had to do the will of the master. Back to the article. He is confident that GCOM will determine the latter. APNU and AFC company agent Ganesh Mahipal had on May 19th last admitted that the coalition has been operating on unconfirmed reports. Where the specific claims of foreign voters are concerned, ladies and gentlemen, for the sake of clarity, I ask your permission to read this to you one time more. He is confident that GCOM will determine the latter. APNU and AFC content agents Ganesh Mahipal had on May 19th last admitted that the coalition has been operating on unconfirmed reports, where these people's claims of foreign voters are concerned. Multiple appeals have been made by the stakeholders, including the press, for the coalition to release evidence. The party not submitting actual evidence has decided to consider a list as evidence. Ladies and gentlemen, a list of what it claims as evidence, and not evidence to prove that people were out the country or there was riot rise from the dead and arouse and walk as the night of the living dead, and go and vote. And then you can probably go and suck some blood and then return to your lair in the earth. Yes, we gotta have some fun, right? The method of objection is also being criticized as a way of frustrating the process by other parties. For instance, the Citizenship Initiative executive Irfaan Ali posted on Facebook yesterday that of box 6162, the coalition agent called 100 serial numbers out as linked to persons who are allegedly dead or were allegedly out of the jurisdiction on election day. But when GCOM checked the official list of electors, Ali said only 4 of the serial numbers were ticked off to indicate that those persons had voted. Out of 100, 4 had voted. He had no evidence. He said no evidence was presented. Ladies and gentlemen, no evidence was presented. He's giving you a long list and fooling the poor people in the street, which could cause trouble, and which internationally you will hold the leaders of the party that are telling the people lies and causing this. I hope they're not trying to create a Rwanda-style massacre or something like what had happened in Wisma in the 60s. But when GCOM checked the official list, Ali said only 4 of the serial numbers were ticked, that's of 100 people, you know, to indicate those persons voted and they were present. He said no evidence was presented, and I continue. The GCOM had only recently passed down a decision that it would only note objections in the observation reports. If the names are ticked off to indicate the persons had voted, before that, staffers were expected to note whatever objections were made by the political agents. In addition, one attempt by this newspaper, that's the Kaicho News, to independently verify the coalition claims of foreign voters in ballot box 6007 found that a Burmese couple who were at home on election day were roped into the party's objections. In an interview with Kaicho News, Shirley Nicholson had confirmed she and her husband, Aubrey Nicholson, were both in the country and voted early, spending the rest of the day with their grandchildren. Her husband had taken part in an interview with a Burmese television station, footage of which this newspaper has seen. Particular to the coalition's claim of irregularities is that they were deliberately orchestrated by the PPPC to rig the elections in its favor. But when the coalition's Leonard Craig doubled down on the false foreign voters' claim about the Burmese couple, Kaicho News was told by the Nicholsons that they both went to the polling place, Sisters Village Primary School, and voted for the coalition. Ladies and gentlemen, friends and family, there ends that reading. It is such a disgrace and a shame that these people are involved in these kinds of shenanigans to bring more disrespect and shame in the country. Ladies and gentlemen, friends and family, me, your brother, your friend, Haji, Dr. Roshan Khan, saying thank you for tuning in to this, the Arcade, Guyana Free Media, and I say to you, farewell.